Everybody, Jensen Cummings here. Thank you as always for tuning in. Today is Best Served Podcast 274, and we are talking about digital ordering. This is Best Served New Volume 1, Meta Asian Kitchen, episode 10 of 10. We have had quite a journey with Ken and Doris. I'm excited to wrap this series. They've gotten so much out of it. We've already seen them start to execute on a lot of things that they've been learning. So very important. Again, this series, you'll see a lot more. I'm very, very hot on this series, Best Served New, where we're really coaching, chronicling the journey, the process, the struggle, the joy, everything that it takes to start your F&B business. And today we're going to be getting into our get clear on how to get it out there, how we connect our brand, our story, our message, our product to our customers, to our community. So important. And sometimes in restaurants, we struggle with this, right? We want to be in the kitchen. We want to be behind the bar. And sometimes getting out there, getting outside of our four walls is a struggle. And so desperately important always in this time, more important than ever. We're going to talk about that as digital ordering is becoming the new landscape that operators need to really flourish in. All right, Ken, Doris, want to bring the two of you in. This is it. This is the last one.
I know.
Oh, we made it.
Can even if we don't have the show, can we just get on in the morning and hang out for a while? Because I feel like this has been really valuable for me. It's been so rewarding also for me to be able to go through this process with the two of you, bringing in dozens of experts throughout this process, learning from them, learning from each other. And the two of you have done an amazing job of actually deploying. It's really easy to listen and say, yeah, that sounds good, and then go back into your cocoon and not actually take any action. And you, every single episode, have taken action against what's happening. So I love that, and I'm grateful. And now we're getting into digital ordering. This shit is scary. This is scary for restaurant people because we make things with our hands. Everything is tactile. We get to interact with people face to face, which is why this pandemic is such a struggle for us. And now we need to figure out a way through this to communicate with our audience. And we can't see them. We can't touch them. We can't ask them questions. It's a challenge. So yet it's necessary. And the two of you recognize that, and you're doubling down on that, going into a virtual kitchen model as your second outlet. Mm-hmm. And this is big. Now you need to go 100% into people's homes. This is your whole platform. And this is a massive opportunity right now, right? We're reading numbers, delivery revenue to increase from 35 billion to 365 billion in 10 years globally. So it's massive and it's necessary. And so we're going to get into that. We're going to be bringing in Stephanie Capretta from Chow Now to talk to us a little bit about the ordering platform. We're going to bring in the one and only Josh Kopel with Pru and Proper, Flow Hospitality, Full Comp Podcast, and now in-house delivery. This is a busy, busy guy, and in-house delivery is allowing us the opportunity to own the delivery process. So that's what we're going to talk about today. High level, Doris, for you, you've been in this space a lot. You've been doing a lot of research. Where are you at? How are you feeling about being delivery only? How are you feeling about the digital ordering landscape?
It's definitely freaking stressful. The past 2 weeks, I've just been like living in front of my computer. I've been on calls like nonstop with all these different companies. There's just so many of them out there. But, I've made my decision. I picked the few that I want to move forward with. And I'm very happy with the decisions that I've made. Now I can just like focus on like getting on these platforms, setting them up, and then I can go back in the kitchen and help Ken, like we can fold dumplings.
Yeah.
Cook. Right now it's just like him working, cooking, prepping everything. I'm just like huddled in the corner with my computer, just like typing away or on calls.
Yeah, I know Ken is grateful to do all that work himself so that you can do that. He has to have nothing to do with having any of those conversations. I completely understand that. And it's big. There's, your website. Mm-hmm. There is your digital platform that you're going to be ordering through. There's your POS. There's an aggregator. There is now a delivery service. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. And before we just had a website, barely. Websites were crap for a long time. Yeah. So this is very, very important for us to understand like how we're navigating this. And we'll definitely have Stephanie talk to us a little bit more about this. I also like this, right? Chow Now has been on our show. Leah Deebs has been on. And I connected you all as you were going through that process, and now you're actually in your onboarding process with Chow Now. So once again, you're taking the introductions, the advice, the connection, and deploying that, which is super cool. So I love to hear that. So on that, is that another company calling you?
My mother. Let me just tell her that I'm doing a recording.
There you go. Mom, we're doing a recording, and then we'll go make some Chinatown dumplings. Stephanie, let's bring you in here to this.
Hi.
Stephanie, very good to see you. Thank you so much for being on with us.
Absolutely. Hi.
All right. So we lay down a little bit. It's overwhelming, and every day you're working with your clients in the restaurant industry, and a lot of your job is to set these tensions at ease, right? A lot of it is, how do we navigate? What the hell are we doing? How do I succeed in something that I don't understand at all? And so I mentioned all the different platforms you potentially need to be integrating with. Break that down a little bit for us as far as how operators are maneuvering that. And then let's talk about Chow Now as the catalyst in allowing that success within digital ordering.
Yeah, it definitely can be overwhelming. I totally understand that. There's so many different facets to get set up properly with online ordering nowadays. It's not just the website. First and foremost, the website, is the primary place, of course, that we would want to set you up for success. So we want to make sure, you're converting to the right area, you're pointing customers to the ordering button on your website. But not only that, as soon as they click that, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes for you guys, right? So it comes into your tablet, or whatever company you're using, it would come into your tablet. Then you have to figure out from that point, how do I get that into my POS system? How do I get that to my kitchen? How do I make sure my staff feels comfortable enough when they receive the order to process it, prepare it, set it up for pickup? And then, as Jensen was mentioning, there's a whole delivery portion of that, of course, because you're a virtual kitchen. So how do I make sure that the delivery portion of everything is running smoothly, that the couriers are set up correctly, and they have the proper equipment and the proper things to deliver the food at the right time. So yeah, there's so many different facets, and our job, or my job, is to make sure that the restaurant partners that we work with feel really confident in that, and that they can rely on us for that support, and they don't need to do all that work on their own, that we can really help them and hold their hand along the way.
Yeah, I thought that was an important part of the process when we were talking with Leah, that a human walks you through all of that. And I think that's an important thing, just to kind of push us out in the water a little bit more gently. You mentioned the button on the website, and I was asking Doris beforehand, the button for Google. And one of the things I was asking was, why Chow Now? As you were talking to all these different companies, you ended up going with Chow Now. Why was that? And Doris, give us a couple of those things, because I think everybody listening, watching, is feeling very unsure. Or am I making the right decision? Am I spending money in the right places? Am I wasting my time? Am I getting taken advantage of? And for you navigated all that. So give us a little bit of that. What were a couple of the reasons that Chow Now stood out above everybody else?
Yeah, I spoke to a lot of companies, and the reason why I decided to go with Chow Now is because you guys been around, obviously, for much longer than these other newer companies. So, and you're still here, so obviously you know what you're doing. And one of the features that I really like was the Google button for ordering, because when you go to other restaurants like Google page, right, you'll see DoorDash, Grubhub, maybe their own POS ordering ordering tab, just so many. But then when you go to a restaurant that uses Chow Now, there's just a blue button right under their name that says order now, and it just brings them to the menu page. Seamless. You don't have to look through everything else and figure out, who should I order from? Should I do Grubhub, DoorDash, whatever? If I saw that, I wouldn't even bother looking at anybody else. I'll just click on that blue button and just order. And I actually tried out a local restaurant that uses Chow Now. The experience was super seamless. It was really easy. And another thing that I liked was when I spoke to Alex, the sales rep, she told me that you guys only use DoorDash drivers who've done over 250 deliveries, who have really high ratings. So that's super important to me, because with these couriers, anyone can be showing up. You don't know what they're doing with the food. They might just drive home and not deliver the food, and just throw the food away, or like, they don't spend the time trying to get in contact with the customer. They'll show up, ring the doorbell, no one comes. I'm going on to my next order. So I like that you guys spend the time figuring out like who are the couriers that we want to use.
I like it. All right, so let's break down just very quickly, because I don't want to techno babble everybody to death, but understanding when we're saying Chow Now right now, there's people going, I still don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. Are they like DoorDash? What are they? So let's talk about how you're integrating and laying over the top of their website, creating that digital ordering platform, and then fee structure, I think, is important. I want you to touch on that, and just kind of how Chow Now is working and actually being of service to somebody like Ken and Doris's concept.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chow Now, when you describe it to somebody, they're like, are you DoorDash? Are you Grubhub? And I think the main differentiator between us and another third-party marketplace is that we really want to put the restaurant's brand forward. We believe that restaurants know their guests way better than we know your guests. So you should be at the forefront of that. So when we do set up the online ordering, it's on your website. It opens up with your website in the background. It's branded to your restaurant. You have control of everything. You can update the menu on your own. You can update the prices, all of that. So we want to give you as much control as possible when that's happening on your website, because it's your website. But even though we do have, all of that set up for you, we don't want to charge you per order. On, most of these marketplaces charge a commission, high commission per order, or a high fee. And we don't believe that's fair. So because especially your brand is going to be at the forefront of that, we want to make sure it's fair pricing for you as well. So that's why Chow Now does a flat fee instead of a commission per order structure. That way, even if you're starting out and you're getting 20 orders a month, you're paying the same fee as if you were getting 2,000 orders a month. So fair fee structure there. But yeah, in terms of the way that Chow Now differentiates themselves as well, is we want to give you all of your customer data, because again, those are your customers, right? Whereas those marketplaces, most of the restaurants I've spoken to that have worked with those other marketplaces, they don't get any of that data. So they can't reach out to those customers and keep them loyal, or have a chance to speak to them directly. It's kind of just behind this red curtain, so they can't really see it. But with Chow Now, at any point, you can look on your dashboard and see, oh, so-and-so has ordered 5 times, or this person has only ordered once. I want to reach out and send maybe an email marketing campaign to them. So you have full freedom and control of the information that should be yours.
Yeah, Doris, we talked about this. So you got to own your customer. You have to own your customer. Now, also, for you, especially as you're going into this next phase, you also need to be on every single third-party delivery platform and get really good at the remarketing we talked about. Your ability to use that, like I'll pay 30% 2, 3, 4 times to acquire a lifelong customer. Absolutely. You have to think about that. In perpetuity, no way. It's not viable for you. In the short term, it's a marketing cost. And if you're very good at redirecting, we talked about QR codes that take people back to a video of you guys showing them how to make dumplings. Bringing your brand into the home is so important. You just need to, and a lot of times people don't know.
Right.
That's my wife. She's in the industry, and there's a restaurant right behind our house, and she was getting on DoorDash one time to order food from them. And I said, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just getting on DoorDash. I was like, do you know? And she had no idea. And she's in it. Like, we're in it. And I had to explain that. So a lot of times people don't understand the impact that they're having. They think that they're helping you out. And they are. They are. Absolutely. They're creating commerce for your business. It's not helping you as much as if they went direct. And look, they're not going to go direct every time. But what if they went 1, 2 out of 3 times? That changes the economics. So super important. You can order directly. Some of what you're talking about through, and Chow Now is basically attached. It's integrated into your website. It is your digital ordering platform. Then there's also a marketplace where I can go to Chow Now and search and find new restaurants. Kind of what's the difference there? And is there a difference in how I'm getting charged for that? Like, break that down a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So with most marketplaces, it's almost like a paid search engine, right? So restaurants can pay an extra amount of maybe an extra commission or an extra fee to be higher on the search results if someone is looking for pizza, Chinese food, anything like that, they can pay to be higher on those results. The difference with Chow Now is we don't believe that that's fair, right? Because everyone should have a fair chance to be visible to customers anywhere in your neighborhood. So the way our system is set up is if you are in a specific neighborhood, you can open up the Chow Now app and see all of the Chow Now restaurants in your neighborhood based on location. So it's really just more of a discovery app. So you can look around. You can still look by cuisine, but it's just showing you what's close to you. So we're helping customers find restaurants that are on the platform that they can order from. And in terms of the charge for this, it's actually free of cost. There's no charge for this program to be on the Chow Now app, especially with everything going on, with COVID and just the current climate. We didn't feel it was fair to charge restaurants just to show up on the Chow Now app. So we do our due diligence to make sure customers are finding the Chow Now app, but once they're there, your food should sell itself, your restaurants should sell itself. So they're charged on that now app.
Nice, I appreciate it. All right, Stephanie, thank you so much. Doris, you especially, I want you to really, really, really work their team because I want feedback from you on the process. Imagine what are all the annoying questions that Jensen would ask them? Ask them those questions because that's what it's going to take. And I think it's going to be important to have that support structure. So I'm looking to you for some feedback there. Stephanie, thanks to you, Alex, Leah for helping Ken and Doris out and all the restaurants that you work with. Really appreciate you being on.
Absolutely. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
All right. Take care, Stephanie.
Bye.
All right. This is good. I'm super happy that you're working with Chow Now, and I was completely agnostic. Whoever you work with was totally up to you. But it's nice just to see that if we're making these human connections, it does make a difference. So really, really appreciate that. All right, Josh, want to bring Josh Kopel in now. Josh, good to see you, my friend.
Good, brother. Good to see you as well.
All right. So mentioned it before at the onset, but you're now doing in-house delivery, a company that is focusing on allowing operators to own the end of the process, which I could tell Doris's frustration. You know that frustration so well, being an owner operator yourself. You did all the work. You have the mobile first website that's killing it, and it really works. And you're marketing your brand well, and you've got Chow Now, and your orders are aggregated. And then somebody shows up and does not care for your product, and it just loses steam. And once it gets to the guest, it is a completely diminished experience. Mm-hmm. And it's just not okay. And so you guys are taking charge of that. I want to kind of first, just as I say all that, as we're thinking about that, why did you feel the need to get into that space? Why was it important to you to create the opportunity for restaurateurs to have a better end-to-end experience when it came to delivery?
Because I felt like I was being tricked. Third-party delivery masquerades as this infrastructural solution, but it's not. It's a marketplace that charges you a premium rate for access to your own customers. And that just didn't seem right to me. And I knew that if I had the infrastructural solution that I needed, I would use third-party delivery for new customers and then convert my existing customers instead of constantly paying for access to these folks. And I was like, how hard could it possibly be to do this? Because how many marketplaces as a restaurateur do I need to be on? Yeah. Yelp, Grubhub, you want to take reservations, Open Table, and everybody's charging you these premiums, and it just didn't make sense to me. You look at the commissions that we pay to third-party delivery providers, and it didn't make sense when it constituted 10% of our business.
Right. And
now that it's 90% of our business, you look at the modeling, you say these commissions just don't work. You don't make money as a restaurateur. The third-party delivery company isn't making any money according to their S1 filing. The drivers aren't making any money. And the customers are actually paying a premium on their end as well for access to the same marketplace. So I just wanted to fix it. And, one restaurateur to another, like we fix our own problems. Yeah. And so I just I just wanted to solve the problem myself and supply the infrastructural solution that we needed so that we can self-determine, like determine our future without it, my positioning on Grubhub determining whether I'll make money this weekend or not.
Oh, Josh, I really, really like that. I think it feeds into something that I love about what you talk about, right? We only take these incremental changes in the industry, and it's about exponential growth, and owning that part of the process is important. Because look, we're very quick to demonize the end user because we don't like the system. Anybody who's willing to bring your brand into their home should be celebrated. We need to create a better opportunity for them to do that in a way that's meaningful and impactful on all sides of that equation. And so that's an important thing. People are like, why don't they just pick it up? Because it's fucking easy to get on your phone. Like, convenience is king. And then in the restaurant, we're like, oh, I just order everything from Cisco on my phone, but I'm going to tell customers that they should take the time to come pick it up. It's not realistic. So you have to own whatever parts of the process that you can, not demonize the process because we don't like the way it is, or that there's some vultures that are out there, because that's always the reality. So I really, really appreciate that. Talk about now how in-house delivery actually works. Again, we're Luddites. I kind of understand, but break it down for us. Simple cook terms. You know what I'm talking about, John.
I got you, bro. I'll spoon feed it.
Yes.
So what we specialize in is software that enables driver scheduling and delivery management.
Okay.
So we're able to plug into your Chow Now so that the deliveries are going to go seamlessly. The customer gets a text when they place the Chow Now order. And then they'll be able to track that driver just like they would through a third-party app. They're able to leave feedback through the platform that only you see, so it doesn't go out publicly. So you'll know what's going on with the driver. And then we also deal with driver scheduling. So you'll schedule your drivers like you would schedule your employees, so that you know who they are. They're independent contractors, but you have a relationship with them.
Right.
And we can actually supply you with the independent contractors. These people are insured and background checked, and they're your team. And I want to go ahead and throw out money because it feels like it would be expensive.
Right.
$2 per delivery.
What's how far does it go up to? Like how many miles?
How far out, like in terms of radius?
Yeah. What's the radius?
Pretty far. I mean, so far we've gone out as far as 10, 12 miles.
Okay, wow. And it's $2 all around?
I see the light bulb. Wait a minute.
Well, let's talk about it, because I really want to dig into the value prop, because I think it's important to understand.
Please.
So the bigger questions you would have are, how hard is it to use? It's as easy to use as third-party delivery. It's a set it and forget it scenario. One of the things the tech is based off this artificial intelligence algorithm that looks at your past sales data, and then it is able to estimate volume and make recommendations on when you should schedule these drivers out.
Okay.
That way, I need 2 drivers between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Fridays, 3 on Saturdays between this window. That way, the guys aren't standing around. You're not wasting that time.
Right.
Are they paying the drivers like hourly?
They are. It's a $15. You're paying the contractor $15 an hour, flat rate, all included. That includes the insurance. That includes everything.
Wow. So then we don't have to insure them.
No, you don't have to worry about anything. We got it all covered. So you're covering $15 for the driver and $2 per delivery. But what we've done, the system is actually live now. This isn't like a conceptual thing anymore.
Right.
If you charge $5 per delivery, you're offsetting the cost of the driver with just a few deliveries.
Right.
Which is easy to do. You're not going to send them out with less than a few deliveries, right? So what we've seen is this. The net result is it's about 50% cheaper than using third-party delivery. The conversion that we've seen from new customer to existing customers through the roof. I ordered Joe's Pizza recently, and on the top of the pizza box, it said, thanks for ordering, through third-party delivery. We'd appreciate it if you click the QR code, order from here on out. And customers are willing to do that now. They're using their money as a vote to vote for independent restaurants, independent concepts. And so they're more apt to help us in any way that they can. It's cheaper for you. The driver makes more money. The driver's scheduled, has a secure source of revenue and source of work. They're fully insured by us. And the customer doesn't pay the premiums that they would pay through Uber Eats or Grubhub. Also, they get their food a lot faster because the guy that's picking up food at your restaurant is going to 10 other restaurants.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
And bring some hospitality into that process.
Well,
too.
you own the transaction end to end, Jensen. It makes sense.
Yeah. And Doris and Ken, now I'm thinking, my brain, I'm like, branded. That driver is branded.
Oh yeah, head to toe.
An opportunity, and they're walking through an apartment complex, and people see that, and like they look sharp. They know a part of your story that they can, drop the bag and say, Chinatown dumpling, 12-second story, and people feel that connection.
Sure.
It's that. It's when you drop food on the table and you tell that little bit of a story that people look up at you and they respond, and then they look at the food and they're in the zone. You feel that when you drop food, when you have a food runner that doesn't just slam food on the table and walk away. You feel that interaction. A driver can create that same sense of hospitality, which so many restaurateurs feel like is completely lost. It's only lost because we haven't figured out a way to put it into the way that we run our businesses in this new landscape. This is absolutely an opportunity to do that. Josh, another thing that I really liked getting onto the website was sometimes the numbers for the impact is so abstract to us.
Oh, dude.
Right there on the website, it was like how many orders. You can literally slide a bar on there. Ken, Doris, go do this. I do 50 orders a day. I have a $28 average, and it spits out your annual, percentage based on 30% being that number. And, if you're doing 50 orders at $26, you're talking $500,000 in sales. You're talking $100,000.
Huge money.
Money.
And you can turn around. Yeah, I was going to say, in Ken, Doris, you can turn around and invest that money in marketing to own more of your share. Like the reason, not to get super high level, but we all do the same thing for a living. Like the reason we got into this position, the reason you're looking at a 60% permanent closure rate is because we let the Ubers and the Open Tables of the world run our businesses for us. You have to own your customer. You have to own that data, and you've got to be able to leverage it when you need it. You see that the people that are thriving during the pandemic are the people that were able to turn around and say, hey, customer base that I have regular access to and I communicate with regularity, I need you to support me during this time. You can buy these retail goods. You can buy these gift cards. And the people that didn't do that suffered. And a lot of them went out of business. And we have to make the transition from being just restaurateurs to being business people.
Yes.
And a huge part of that is owning the transaction end to end and owning that customer.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
I'll get off my soapbox.
No, that's exactly what we need to hear. It's absolutely true. And we're spending so much time and effort and heartache trying to blame somebody. And there's plenty of blame to go around. What the fuck are you going to do about it?
Right.
What are you going to do about it? Because your business needs you to be a leader in this moment. And what it needs is not for you to go on social media and blast people for ordering through DoorDash. It needs you to figure out how to take them out of the equation. And look, you learned a lot from DoorDash. Our industry learned a lot from DoorDash. I'm grateful to all these third parties for exposing the vulnerability and the opportunity. Now, Chinatown dumplings in every home in a 12-mile radius, game changer. Absolute game changer. And it is your job, Doris, especially you, can you make those dumplings? Doris, to figure out how every single one of your customers, right? Find your customer is important to us. Not everybody, but your customers in that radius has access to your product at the best price, at the best time, as Josh mentioned, quicker, with hospitality, and just delicious at the end of the day. That's what we all want. It creates that sense of belonging that I'm so big on. Josh, I appreciate that. Last thought, if you want to go back to the soapbox, great. If you want to touch on in-house delivery and exactly how people can get connected with that, because I know a lot of people brains are starting to turn right now going, wait a minute, I want to own that process. Any last thoughts from you?
They can go to inhousedelivery.com to check it out. And the last thing I want to say is this. There's so much doom and gloom out there.
Yeah.
It is just an incredibly difficult time. But there's a gold rush that's coming. You can look at the math and you can see it. You're looking at a 60% permanent closure rate when demand goes back to 100%, probably higher than 100%. You've got 40% of the restaurants nationwide to service that demand. Now is the time to build out the infrastructure you need to make sure that you keep the money that you're making when the world gets back to work.
For sure.
Let's go, Josh. Inspired every time I talk to you, my friend. And definitely, everybody, make sure Full Comp Podcast, check that out.
Thank you, brother.
Always talking to just thinkers across the industry. That's really what it is. We need to start to think differently. We've been stuck. The restaurant industry model has not actually changed in over half a century, right? We make these little incremental things, and look how different we are. It's a different mousetrap. It's different colored lipstick on the same pig. It is time for us to actually take that exponential growth phase. So thanks for the inspiration there, Josh. Definitely
Thanks for having me on, brother.
Sure. All right, be good. Take care. See ya. All right. Whew. There's so much to unpack when it comes to digital ordering, right? Yeah. So many different ways to go about this. The most important thing, understand end to end, own as much of that process as you can. Number one takeaway, you may not make the right choice. You may go, oh, I really like these guys, but shit, they don't integrate with these guys. What the hell do I do? You're going to run into things like that throughout this process. It's going to be frustrating, yet you have to understand end to end. We understand the beginning end, your story, your family history, the Chinatown dumpling, sharing the process, right? The ingredients that goes into that, then going into the way that we put that out there starts to become more and more important, the numbers that go into that. And now we're talking about all the way to that food getting dropped and getting opened, and Chinatown dumpling goes here, right? That's the end to end, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have no other choice. You have to understand it, and you have to own it, as much of that process as you possibly can. So
especially in this environment now too, you don't have the luxury of time to be like, oh, now I have time to figure out, maybe I'll do some third party, delivery and start looking into that. It's just like, go, go, go. We have to go online ASAP. You got to figure shit out quickly, because we don't have time. Like he was saying, 60% of restaurants are closing. It's like, if you're not on top of it, you can be one of the 60%. So.
Absolutely. I know the two of you are going to be okay because your mindset. It's the most important thing to me all the time, is the mindset and your ability to not get stuck in this scarcity mindset, to struggle. You're struggling with it, and you wish you had having all these things every day, all day, and it's sleepless nights, and you're huddled in the corner on your laptop, almost in fetal position, because you don't want to fucking do it, and you are doing it. You are still doing it, and you're not going back into bad habits because they used to work.
Right.
And maybe they never worked because we kill ourselves in this job. Now it's like, how do I create an opportunity again for that 2-week vacation is what we're building towards. This has been amazing, the two of you. You've brought so much value to so many people, I cannot tell you. And a lot of people have already reached out to myself and Best Served, reach out to you. We've seen the impact that it's had on your all business. But a lot of people are going to find this 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, that weren't ready to hear it. Go, wow, this changed my life. And I truly believe that a handful of people's lives will be changed, yours included, by the work that we did over this 10-part series. And they will be a part of those 40% of restaurants that emerge from this and create and rebuild an industry that needs it and deserves it. So I appreciate the two of you.
Well, we appreciate you giving us this opportunity to, speak our truth and tell our story.
We got a lot. we're going to stay in touch. We got a lot more to talk about. I'm sure you guys are going to be like our poster children for what happens next in this industry.
Yeah.
Going to for sure make sure that the Chinatown
3 months from now, where are they now?
Yeah, exactly. We absolutely going to do that because I know people are going to reach out and be like, so what's happening with Doris and Ken? I was like, you don't know? Why aren't you getting Chinatown dumplings every week? Let's go. So I know that that's going to have that impact. And that's, again, it's these relationships that we're building and allowing people to see the work that the two of you are doing is going to, one, potentially reset their mindset, or two, say, I'm on the right path. And both of those things are needed. So I appreciate that. That's it. I'm going to let the two of you go. I really am grateful, and so many people are. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
All right, everybody. That is a wrap to this series, all 10 parts of Best Served New. Please check out the whole series, and there's a link to a playlist on YouTube, Facebook that you can check out and see the whole series. You'll see, again, end to end, 10 parts. We take them from talking about their family history to talking about how to get your story out there, talking about menu development, investing in ingredients, talk about menus and websites and marketing. We talk about budgeting, digital ordering, everything end to end that you need. And this series, you're going to see a lot more from this series. I am very fired up about this. And again, gratitude is the word to Ken and Doris for allowing us a glimpse and allowing us to support them in any way that we can. It is so desperately needed. And I want to do a lot more of these. So thanks for the opportunity to all of you. Appreciate you all, as always, for tuning in. Cheers.